This is Monday, January 10th, 2022, meeting of the Berlin Board of Assessors. As a preliminary matter, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you. Take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you. Take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. This is Kevin Pond, Chair of the Board of Assessors. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me prior to me calling the meeting to order. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Bev Wheeler.
Here.
Roger Bradley.
Here.
Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Molly Reed, Assessing Director.
Here.
And is Joanne here?
No.
Okay. Any anticipated speakers?
None that I'm aware of.
Okay. With a quorum of the board present, I call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. on Monday, January 10th, 2022. Okay,
Cool.
good to go. What are we going to start with?
The minutes, I had
Okay.
emailed out. Did anybody have a chance to read them?
Yes, I looked them over. Yep.
I was unable to open them, Molly.
Oh, even the ones I sent them again today.
Yeah, no, they come in with some Hanscom thing, it says.
It's just a Word document like I always do. So I don't,
I don't know.
No.
It's when I tried to open it on this laptop or this iPad, it comes up with unable to open Hanscom something. And I couldn't open it. And that's why I emailed you.
yeah. And then I was at home and didn't email them to myself, so I couldn't download them and re-email them to
Okay.
you. So that's why I did it this morning or this after. It ended up being this afternoon by the time I got done with everything else. Do you want me to read them out loud?
Yeah, I think
No,
we
well, you
should go over them.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So we approved the minutes from November 22nd. I gave you the building permits list for November. I informed you of the temporary emergency paid sick leave due to COVID.
Do we still have that? Is that still in effect?
Believe so. It's all under the federal government
Okay.
stuff. And I would have to relook at the.
That's okay. Yep.
I reviewed and updated the budget with you. I told you I was reviewing the abatements. And then you signed accounts payable and the abatements that we had gone over. And you signed exemptions and CPA exemptions and motor vehicle commitment number 5. And we adjourned at 7:23.
Okay. On the abatements, how are they labeled, Molly?
By map, by parcel ID.
Right, so should we put an address, or is that not correct to do that? An address and a name for easier reference?
Well, you have your internal things that are easier reference. This is for public, and that's the way we've always done them, is just by parcel ID.
Okay. But somebody could, well, I guess they could come in and we would, that was one of the questions we had. Is this public information now?
Yeah, after the certificates are all done and signed.
Okay, so if we,
So now on January of 2022, it's public information on a report.
on a report that we have or is filed somewhere or?
No, we have it. It's a permanent record for our office.
Okay, there we go. So if someone comes in,
I've never had anyone come in and ask, but yes, go ahead. Yep.
if someone came in and said, geez, I see, quote, in the newspaper, you had some abatements. And I was interested if there was one on, I'm just gonna make these numbers up. Let's say 00/01/0. And it says, yeah,
Go ahead. What,
so,
there's a certain format that the state has us do, and it has the date that the abatement was done, the amount of the abatement, the owner's name and owner's address, and a parcel ID. That's what they would see. When you come in to sign the month endings, that's the format that we have to keep.
okay, so again, if somebody had the three numbers, what's the sequence of numbers? The,
Map, block, lot.
okay. So that is now always attached to that map, block, and lot,
Yes,
what happened?
that's its constant. Its address can change, but the map, lot, the parcel ID doesn't.
Okay, so with that, if you have the map, block, and whatever, you can look that up, and then our record would have the date it was done, the dollar, the name of the owner, and all that, correct? Okay.
The
We
report
have-
for the abatement that the public can see, yes,
Okay, and that, again, that's a public
document.
document.
Where
Okay,
the abatement applications or anything to do with them are not a public document.
okay, so someone does not know what they filed for then? They just see that there was an abatement for a dollar amount, period.
Correct.
Okay, okay,
That's all they're entitled to.
yeah, okay. I just a little nervous about how that was written. I'm sure I've seen it before, but I'm just making sure that,
You've seen it for 5 years.
right. Well, you know, I forget things now, you know. I forget a lot of things now. Okay. So I think as those are now, I think we could, what do we do? Pass on, vote on those?
Make a motion to accept.
Yeah, I make a motion to accept the previous minutes from December, it looks like 13th, 2021. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And aye. So unanimous. Okay.
And Roger seconded that. I heard him.
Yeah, I heard
Yes.
the second. I'm sorry, yes.
It's okay.
Okay. Tis a
And Ro-
vote.
Roger, I forgot to have the minutes out there to be signed. So if you get a chance to stop by again.
Okay.
So what, let me back up. Do we have stuff to sign now?
Yes, you will.
Okay, we'll talk about it at the end of this. All right, we're ready for the agenda.
Okay, so I did a draft town report and emailed it out. I know you didn't have enough time to look at it or print it. I can have it printed out. When you come to sign, you can take it away and read it. It's due January 31st. So our next meeting is January 24th. So if you can have it reviewed by then, or if you review it and think it's all right, let me know and I can just forward it on to the annual town report people.
All right, I just have to sign in again. Somehow I get out.
Oh, you're right there. I can
We
see
You're
see
you.
still
you.
there.
Okay,
Can you hear us?
I can hear you, so I gotta get out of this. All right, we're good now.
And now we can see Claire. Hi, Claire.
I know, she's
That's a-
guiding me. Back in business. So-
We,
Back again. Boy, this is being fun tonight. Okay. We're good.
the building permit list for December is here. We got it. The Warren Group for issue 11, which is November, is here. There was a new COVID on January 4th. The Board of Health made a COVID-19 mask mandate for any inside people. I mean, when you, anywhere in town, if you're going inside to wear a mask. And then we had a bunch of DLS information go out on COVID-19 rapid tests being available. They're going to be sending them out by the cities and towns with the highest dense population. I doubt we will ever see them. Then the city and town newsletter came out, and there was a very good article on a look at the FY22 tax levies and assessed values and tax rates. So they did a synopsis of the year if you want to read it. And the US Treasury has issued a final rule for ARPA, American Rescue Plan Act, that the DOR told us about. I didn't read it, but we're doing, the AFT is doing a little thing at 7:05 with the Board of Selectmen on it. If you want to come in, maybe I'll learn more then.
And when is that again?
Tonight at 7:05.
Okay.
And Margaret sent out an update on the store closure, not the store, the town closure because of inclement weather, which is basically a calling tree. And then I have the annual report. And the abatements. I have 2 abatements to be denied. They're both personal property. One is Forever 21 changed their corporate name, and they filed an abatement mostly because I wasn't sure what they were talking about, so I didn't want them to miss out if it was a valuation issue, but it wasn't. It's just the corporate name change. So we changed that, and we'll deny the valuation part of it. And then NSTAR Eversource has filed an abatement because they don't like the DOR's new recommendation on how to do 504s. So that's what we have to follow. So it's denied, and I'm sure that they're going to take it to court again and somehow get more, I don't know. So it's just denied. And then we have, I think there's 3 more left. One, we've requested an inspection for a single family house, and we haven't heard back yet. So there's nothing we can abate. I'll give them till the next meeting to see if they respond. And then the mall has filed, Sears has filed.
With the mall and Sears filing, do we have a dollar value of how that's going to affect us?
No, because they didn't tell us they didn't tell us what their estimate of value is. So
Okay,
I don't know.
all right.
And it's two lawyers. One is Mark Murphy, who was filing for the Highland Commons, but he didn't file on them this year. He filed on the mall. So I can give him a call.
Okay,
And the same thing with Sears. I walked, Joanne and I walked the mall the other day last week to see how many stores were closed and everything. And I did notice that Sears is closed. But Sears Automotive has Reliant Health doing some COVID thing out of there.
testing, I
Testing.
think.
Yeah, so that's that. And BJ's filed because they think that their personal property should be a percentage like their property is. And on the form of list that they sent us, we're off on that. So I sent we actually have it assessed less than what they did on the form of list. So I sent an email back to the woman because she did it through an email. So I sent it back saying that the information that she gave us on the form of list that she turned in is much higher than our assessment. So let me know if you have any other information.
So we're gonna raise our assessment then?
Next year,
Okay.
we'll see.
Well,
So that's that.
One question on the house we have to get into to look at. How are they notified that we're going to be looking or we're trying to get in contact with them?
Well, it's part of the abatement application. So we did the phone number that was on the abatement application, and I don't think we got an answer back. There was a mailing address on the application that I think the mail came back to us. And I think that Joanne has talked to him, so she had an email. She might have had an email address. And then we also looked online for the gentleman to see if there was an alternative email mailing address, which we found one and we mailed it out there, but we've exhausted all our possibilities of trying to find another address. He doesn't live in town. This is a property.
Is the property in town?
Yes. The
But
property's on Pleasant Street, I believe.
Yeah,
It's 30 Pleasant Street, and then it's a percentage complete. And
is that the first house on the left with the dirt driveway and the trees all in the way, kind of?
it's number 30. I don't know.
Been like that for years,
Yes.
I think.
So, and we haven't been in it in a couple of years. So that's hence, if he's saying that the percent complete is not what we have it as, we need to see it to adjust it.
Is anybody living in it? Do we know?
No, because it's not finished. He doesn't have an occupancy permit.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, as far as I know, no one's living in it.
Okay, no, I'm
But
kind of kidding.
If you go by at night, take a look.
It's too far off the road. I don't have an issue walking out there, see if anybody's living in it. I don't know.
I'll have
Okay.
to drive down the street. I know I've driven down looking for it before, but that was it's been pushed out of my memory banks.
My guess is
that
if you go down Pleasant Street, I'm assuming it's the first dirt driveway on the left. I'm just assuming though, but yes. So
Is that before Connors? Is that what we're talking about?
I didn't hear what you said.
Connors,
No,
Gotta be way before that.
it's the first driveway on the left.
it's not a very good picture, but can you
It's
see that?
across from Coldwell's old house, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm guessing, I'm just guessing. Years ago, I think I was out there for something. I don't know the percent complete was what was at that time. That was a long time ago.
That's what I
Okay,
was thinking. I don't remember seeing a little driveway there, so it must have been.
if you
Now
look
you have me
hard,
curious. I'm gonna have to go look and pay attention.
if you look hard and it's kind of grown in, I think somebody recently trimmed it back, but by a little bit. So.
Hmm.
Anyway, okay, all right. So we've tried to be in touch with them, then fine. Okay.
Yep. So
What percentage of completion do we have it like at last year?
I don't, we have it at 50% this year.
And he has an issue with 50%?
Yeah, hence, that's why we want to get in. And I would have to do research on what it was last year. I think we bumped it up a little because it's been so long.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know, would we check to see that it still has a valid building permit?
I have
after-
in the past,
And does it?
and I believe it did.
Yeah. Okay,
Or he might have to apply for something else, but it's not, the permit's not signed off on, and it is what it is.
yeah. Okay, I'm good.
So now Rose has officially retired. So we need to get that job posted,
Yep.
and as I was advised by Margaret that since Rose only could work the 20 hours after I begged her to stay when she tried to retire the first time, she said that I should put that the monetary amount of the difference of hours into my hours. So that worked out to 32 hours this year, which is what we submitted our budget for. But I've been waiting for the HR compensation package to be accepted or validated, or I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work out. Like when we did our reviews, Margaret asked that we look over the proposed job descriptions that the study did. And I had already done that once before, but I sat down with Joanne and talked to Rose about the job descriptions and resubmitted them with changes. And our job descriptions have never been readdressed. So I'm not even sure. So whatever was in the HR study is not our edited job descriptions. So I'm not sure if, oh goodness gracious, if the changes to the job descriptions changes any of the points that the HR study has presented. I know that when I got a copy of the report, it said it was the final report from December of 2020. And I also know that I've been looking at the personnel board's minutes, that they're still working on the policies that were submitted along with this HR study. So whatever the outcome is, and we'll have to talk about this more, but they have community comparables, and the towns that they're comparing us to are Air, Bolton, Boxborough, Boylston, Harvard, Hudson, Littleton, Maynard, Northborough, Paxton, Shirley, Stowe, and Sterling. I don't know what the criteria was for picking out those communities, but 4 of those communities hire out for their assessing services. So the salary that's listed in those towns is the clerk, because it's only staffed by, those offices are only staffed by a clerk, and the administrative person does everything remotely. So there are some things that I think that and I also listened when to the selectmen's meeting. It was a joint meeting with personnel and selectmen when this just before this final report was given in, passed in, and they have adjusted some of the salaries that went with this report because they felt they were undervalued and they needed to bring them up at least to the minimum wage of the new classification. And they're doing that. And then there were some other issues, but neither here nor there. One of the comments that Chris, she was chair at the time of this, said that there because there was conversation about the hourly rate of the assessing director being so high compared to everyone else. Well, it's so high compared to everyone else because it's only 30 hours and everybody else is working 40. So that's the why that happened. And then Chris said, well, that's the Board of Selectmen isn't under our preview. So, I mean, the Board of Assessors isn't under our umbrella. They can do whatever they want. So we need to really look at this and go to the personnel. The assessors have to go to the personnel board. I've written on this year and last year's review thing to the personnel and the town administrator that that we have an opening coming up that we know about, and we need to look at the job description and the hours and everything. So with your permission, I guess through the town administrator, I'm going to request to be put on the personnel board's meeting to discuss a job advertising and the rest of our
Issues.
What is the job description, or what is the job position?
For Rose, it's called the
Yeah.
administrative assessor.
Okay.
And I can send you out the job descriptions as edited. But we also need to do a job posting, and I guess we have to get the permission of personnel to do a job posting from the minutes that I've read. I'm not, out of all the extra things that I do for the assessing job, HR is not it's not anything that I've been good at, I guess. And because the board's elected, you can evidently do whatever you want for your job descriptions and your pay and your comp towns. And I just think that they've paid to have this HR study done. So for me to spend hours and hours and hours calling other towns to get information, I thought that the best place to start would be having a discussion with the personnel board.
I don't disagree with that. If you want to have a talk with them, I think that's a
You
good
have to come
idea.
too. You have to come too, because it's the board's decision. Nobody else is speaking for the Board of Assessors. And I feel like it's getting lost in the lettuce, in the special sauce.
What are we trying to accomplish with this? Are we trying to get the updated version that you have worked to get correct on to the
to be accepted.
Okay, so we've turned that in and.
Yes.
Okay, so we have turned that in. Let me just make a few notes here. So
How
you,
many hours is this position for?
Well, now this year it's 20, but that was the other thing that I was thinking, that the HR study was going to be recommending or looking into the amount of hours, because there's just, especially with someone new, I mean, it was easy for Rose because she had 13, 12 years of experience. So, but for someone coming in, it's not going to be that easy. Because I thought when I came in, I thought, oh, I have all this experience and I should be able to do it in 30 weeks, 30 hours, and I can't. You're going to have to look at getting these positions more in line with what's, I just took a look at the MAO website and the MMA website, and there was like 10 job openings for my position, and also second position, which would be what Rose was. So the competition is very competitive. And if you want to get qualified people in here, you're going to have to look at something. I'm not exactly sure, because like I said, HR is not my strong suit.
So would you say that the admin assessor needs more than 20 hours per week?
Well, it was at 25. And when Rose agreed to stay, she agreed to stay at the 20 hours. And I funded it at the 25 hours until this year, when I also realized that doing both jobs was not sustainable. And I've always told you that 30 hours was not enough for my job description. The other thing is that I can retire in July. So you need to, we need to come up with some kind of succession planning for this budget cycle. Because I don't think you're going to find anyone to come in here at 30 hours unless they didn't know how difficult or how many of extra special things that this town has put into the assessor's office. So I think that should be talked with the personnel board also, if they have any succession planning or
so a couple of things here. Do you think that the person who did this study did not realize that 4 towns had a clerk and not a head of the assessors?
I don't know, because I don't know what their data points are. That's not in the HR study that was released to us. That it talks about data points and things like that, but I don't know what they used to pick these towns.
All right, and the other thing is, you were talking about you at 30 hours and other towns at 40. So I don't understand that.
This town, my job is is paid for 30 hours.
Right.
It's salaried at 30 hours. Most
Right.
other towns are at anywhere from 35 to 40 hours. The rest of the department heads, accounting and building inspector at 40 hours, and the treasurer collector is at 37.5 hours. So I think that we have a lot more customer input. Well, the building inspector does a lot of inspections, but we do everything. So
I'm not sure of that exact issue between 30 and 40. Do you want to work 40 hours?
I don't want to work 40 hours, but the building department works 40 hours Monday through Thursday. So sorry, Bev.
I was just, sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead. I was thinking just 4 days, 10 hours a day.
Yeah. But, you know, I don't think it needs to be 40 hours. It could be anywhere from 35 to 37 and a half hours, like a lot of towns are.
So what,
But looking forward, I won't be here, so maybe somebody will work 40 hours. And I still think that the office needs to be closed because it's on a Friday to get, I wouldn't want that. I don't know, that there's a lot of drawbacks to the people coming here. There's no retirement insurance. The hours are, only 30, and I found it, I work on average 35 to 37 hours a year.
okay, well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So I just looked at the personnel boards thing, and they're meeting this Wednesday and the 26th, though I don't think we could be put on the agenda for this Wednesday, so I'll send an email to whoever's chair, I think, and to the town administrator to have a discussion on how planning, how questions about the HR study and a succession plan.
okay. I'm
All
good with
right.
that. Yeah, okay.
Can I ask a question? Is the whole building, do they work Monday through Thursday and the building's closed on Friday? Or is
Everybody
it just
has,
the assessor?
everybody has different hours.
Okay. But the building is open 5 days a week.
Yes,
Okay.
but it doesn't, I've never heard a complaint about us not being open on Friday, so that does add a little perk, so. And we got,
So, am I, I'm sorry, go ahead.
well, I'm gonna see, I'm gonna see if there's any towns that are comparable to us and get some information on it, or I'll
Fine.
try and do some research on this. I think that what in the HR, did you all get a copy of the HR study?
Oh, I don't know.
It was
I-
from December of 2020.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, if you want, I can make you copies of it. It's kind of boring, but I can make
No, I don't need one. I don't need, is
Save
it
the
of
paper.
the whole study?
it's
How many pages is it? Just ballpark.
yeah, wait a second, I have to find.
I don't think I need a copy. If we're just talking about 3 or 4 pages, fine, but I don't need a 27-page
There's
report.
31 pages,
Ah,
and then probably and a bunch of attachments, but
no, I don't need that.
I will try
Big-
and maybe I will just copy the
Scan it in
pages
email.
that I don't. Oh yeah, I could send it to you in an email if I can find where it's at. But yes, I can email it to the rest of you.
How many pages are pertinent to your office?
Yeah, that's.
Well, all of
31.
it, because it's explaining what they did. But there is a list of not hierarchy, but grades, which they put this position in the right grade level with the other positions. So the building commissioner, the deputy fire chief, the director of assessing, and the town accountant. which in most towns, that's the way they're grouped for that pay range of step 11 or grade 11. So like I said, I'm not good at HR. I'm not exactly sure how to go about this, but June has told me that she's done her own town comps and presented them to the personnel board. I just was expecting us to be called at some point to discuss the job descriptions and whatnot, but I really think that our salaries for this year's budget might need to be looked at again. And on that note, I just found that we're scheduled to have a FinCom FY23 budget meeting on February 2nd at 8 o'clock. So that would be good.
There's got to be some sort of figure here that we need to be in the ballpark with. Okay, so you're getting paid X amount per hour. What is the magic X amount per hour that we should be looking at?
I wasn't looking at it that way, but I will figure that out and give you.
Okay.
Like if it's 35 hours a week times my current rate, I guess, or what my new rate will be.
So it's not the rate, it's the amount of hours you're having an issue with then, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to, knowing that I'm going to leave probably in July, and if you need me to stay, I can, and I hope to have the values all set for FY23 done before I leave. That's my succession planning. But I've been watching to see what's out there, and there's a lot of good jobs with very high pay.
So there we go. So perfect. So you tell us, or
Yeah, I just
time,
need to know about the right way. I'll do up something and send it to you guys, and you can edit it and point me in the better direction or whatever.
I don't need, if you know, I don't know that you need to send it to me. It's just got to be a magic number. So you go on your website there that you looked up all these jobs on,
Yep.
MAAO, and it'll say the town of so-and-so is listing a job for what you do.
Yep.
And it's got to give a ballpark price per
Yep.
pay.
I've been,
Then how, perfect. So we take that, that's all I'm looking for. And we take
Okay.
that and match it to where we are with you. Or, so if it's the dollar value, now we can look at something. Okay, we're $40 an hour off, or we're $2.75 an hour off. I don't know that. But it's gonna be a
Neither do I.
town relative to us, that the size, and the person's got to do the same amount of work. I think the hours could be adjusted a little more easier, or, you know, especially with a new person coming in, to me makes common sense that somebody's going to have to spend some more time with it. So you just tell them what's happening. If they say no, just tell them it's not going to work. And then the town's going to get what it gets. If you're not going to help us out and fund us for the position we're in, okay, then you're going to get what you get. We'll all go home. It's really easy, I think. Okay, I'm good with that. Yeah. All right.
Okay, that's it.
All right. I'm good. So we are.
Our next meeting is January 4th. No, that's not right. That's a lie. It came out wrong. January 24th, February 2nd with FinCom, and February 14th and 28th are our regular meetings.
Okay, hold on here. Let's just.
I'll send you an email.
Oh, that's better.
Okay.
Send me our next meetings. And some of them are Wednesday nights. If we get on there,
Yep,
and we don't have one this, what's this, January? We have one.
January 24th
Okay.
is our next.
Do we
board
have a meeting before then?
No, that's
No.
the second,
Okay,
that's the fourth.
right,
Monday.
Monday. Okay,
If we get on with the personnel on the 26th,
right.
maybe I can,
You can tell me the 24th. I might remember that.
okay, the
Okay,
24th.
all
I'll
right.
keep you informed.
That's good. That'd be really good. All right. So we have
All
to
right,
come in
and
and
stuff's
sign
all here to
paper
sign.
tonight?
What?
Tonight, we have to come in and sign?
You don't have to come in tonight. You can come in tomorrow. Roger
No.
had already come in, but
Oh, you already?
Bev's coming in tomorrow.
All
I'm
right.
going to,
So I think I will come in tonight. Is it just on the counter or on the
It's
table?
on the table because there was a little bit.
All right, just a little bit. Rod, you already went?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't sign the minutes.
Oh, you want me to
So-
pick you up? Or-
Sure.
All right, I'll pick you up.
All
All
right,
right.
and
So Molly, you're not there, or are you there?
yes, I am here because I have to go to the selectmen meeting at 7:05 and I can't drive home fast enough to do that.
You're right. You cannot do that. What's in the selectmen's meeting for you?
The administrative finance is doing that ARP presentation. So,
Okay. Nothing to do with us, is it, or does
no,
it?
not necessarily. No, it has to do with budgeting.
Budgeting, your other secret committee you're on.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So 6:45, motion to
Yes.
adjourn.
All those in favor?
aye.
Okay, unanimous.
All right, see you in a little
All right.
bit.